Well, that's a hard speech to follow. Bruce, that was fantastic. On this auspicious and wonderful occasion, I am grateful for the opportunity to represent my dear wife Karen and to share a few thoughts of my own. I'd like to begin with a shout out to Amber's family. Because of the distance, Karen and I haven't been able to spend as much time with all of you as we would have liked over the last few years, but we very much enjoyed getting reacquainted and reconnecting last night and this morning. So thank you for that. And now I'd like to tell a really embarrassing story. Wait, I almost forgot. I need to note the time. It's 8:39. I should explain. When I sat down to prepare my remarks, I sent Derek the following modest list of demands. I'll need 30 minutes, a piano, yes, a Turkish flag, and 6 watermelons. Derek's counteroffer came immediately. I'll give you 8 minutes, an accordion, a photo of Ohio's state flag, and 3 grapes. Okay, fair enough. But here I am, as you can see, with no accordion, no photo, not even a single grape. Apparently I have only the 8 minutes and the clock is ticking. What lesson have I learned? I should have asked Amber. How best to spend my 8 minutes, which is actually very generous. Well, a relationship this epic requires an epic poem. And since the poet Burns has not gotten around to it yet, I am pleased to offer mine. We are beaming inside for the groom and the bride as today they embark on their marital ride. We will look to the future, but as I begin, let us visit together some places they've been. Though Amber's from Florida, there is more, you'll agree, since much of her family is from near the Black Sea. This Turkish infusion we have to acknowledge. She then traveled north up to Hartford for college. But Derek, you see, who was born in Ann Arbor, spent 24 years docked in Michigan's harbor. First Canton, then Plymouth, and finally he returned to Ann Arbor and got his degree. Of what faraway lands could his grandmothers tell us? Why, it's Northwest Ohio. Try not to be jealous. A magical place. It is not at all dreary. Not near the Black Sea, but quite close to Lake Erie. They first met at Columbia, Amber and Derek. That's the school in New York, not the place South America. As public health students, they gave their attention to biostatistics and illness prevention. But as they look back, I believe they'd endorse Romance 101 as their favorite course. When it came to employment, the road had a fork. He went to Chicago. She stayed in New York. The distance was hard. They were wondering when they might have sustained time together again. Then in 2020, as maybe you've heard, an inconsequential pandemic occurred. But we found something special amid all the fuss when Derek and Amber sequestered with us. We were certainly pleased when the plan was suggested. A few years before, we'd become empty nested. And though we both loved spending time with the spouse, we always enjoyed having kids in the house. Now, Derek, you'll guess, we already knew well from the first time he stayed at our little hotel. He reserved our best room, as a tot often will, checked out 18 years late without paying his bill. But we bore him no grudge. We were glad he returned, and we hope to resume right where we had adjourned. We'd spent time with Amber once they started dating and gave her, of course, a most excellent rating. But 4 months together is something quite rare for a husband and wife and son's girlfriend to share. Such lengthy exposure can generate stress. Would we manage to pass this relationship test? fit like a glove. It was easy to see why our son fell in love. For Amber was courteous, helpful, and kind, a compassionate soul, an intelligent mind. And to help her adjust to this new habitat, even brought her own wildlife in Cookies the cat. Another advantage, I'm pleased to declare, was the chance to observe what they are as a pair. To see the shared humor, their cozy affection, the wisdom of never demanding perfection. To see them unite behind common ideals, the cooperative work when preparing their meals. The dinner so late that before they were fed, I was often departing and heading for bed. We were happy to give them this chance to renew, and Karen and I got a benefit too. At a time when the world seemed to turn upside down, their staying with us made it harder to frown. We played games and conversed and could not be forlorn. We rejoiced as a group when our grandson was born. When they chose to depart our domestic compartment, they moved into Derek's Chicago apartment. How much did we miss them? I'll merely assert that we put on a Derek and Amber alert. We look forward to weddings. We look forward at weddings. We like to envision the life that's ahead, after rings are exchanged and the vows have been read. So if you don't mind, I'll repeat what I said. We tend to look forward when couples are wed. But parents look back. There comes into our sight the sleepy-eyed toddler we tucked in at night. We grasp for the past, and our eyes might get wet as we live out the lyrics of sunrise, sunset. What you want is to know, with a confident smile, that your toddler chose well whom to walk up the aisle. Well, because of that time all together last year, when Derek and Amber were wonderfully near, we have an assurance that calms any nerves. The son we so love got the bride he deserves. And Derek, that's love that my words can't express. Though there's one stipulation I have to confess. It's a love that's forever. Provided, that means, that you root for the Bucks when they play Wolverine. To Amber, the message I want to convey from Karen and me on your marital day is that, like a balloon that is filled up with water, we're swollen with pride to add you as a daughter. Aww. You've been family for years with no added initial. The wedding today only makes it official. And now, Derek and Amber, one last thing to say from all of us, happily gathered today. Drink in, we implore you, our joy here before you. Your marriage is thrilling for all who adore you. We are honored to be here the day you begin it. With that, I must stop. I've used up my last minute.